And next we're going to head out to Lillooet, population 2,500. Starting up youth sports programs in such small communities are very difficult, but two former boxers have risen to the occasion.
Focused eyes fill the old Riverview Elementary gym as Lillooet youth meet to train with the local boxing club. And just into their second year of operation, they already boast a champion athlete.
This is the Just Do It Boxing Club program, and what we're here for is conditioning, learning how to box properly, protect yourself, learning how to balance. The main thing is to get in condition.
Just Do It Sports has started with boxing and soccer and has plans to spread soon to basketball and baseball. It gives youth like Shaka here a chance to learn new sports. He just won the Diamond Belt title for his weight class in a competition in Richmond.
I didn't really like hockey, so boxing was pretty fun.
He's been here, this is his second year, and he loves the work. And that's the thing about boxing. You have to love the work.
I outclassed the guy that I was boxing, and so I won in the first round, TKO. I felt really great. I felt like it all paid off and fun.
The club is a project of coaches Roger Adolph, Richard Edwards, and Brian Barker, who are concerned with the lack of competitive sports available in their area for kids and teens. They now have an average of 15 pupils at their tri-weekly training sessions, both boys and girls of all ages.
And especially with the Aboriginal communities, sports really died. And rather than just talk and complain about it, the three of us were sitting around having tea and coffee one day. So, well, what are we going to do about it? Well, let's just do it. That's where the name comes from, Just Do It.
The Lillooet group is already being looked at as a model for other small communities. The Osoyoos Indian Band Boxing Club just started in September with some help from Roger, and today they drove in to train together.
We decided to come up here because I wanted to basically expose all the new fighters to what a club is run like, a seasoned club.
These kids learn self-discipline, they learn the work ethics, they learn to pay attention, they learn balance, and they learn to feel good about themselves. To me, that's the most important thing.
The group meets every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 8 at the Riverview Elementary Gym, and newcomers are always welcome. In Lillooet, I'm Paul McLellan for The Express.
A little closer to home, we are winging it at the Shady Tree Pub. It's our ode to chicken wings. We got salt and pepper and honey garlic. And here's another thing you can chew on. After the break, a local jeweler fires up storytelling you can wear.
My jewelry is inspired by the outdoors and the world surrounding us.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
Artina's handcrafted Canadian jewelry, 387 Water Street in Gastown and Government Street in Victoria.
Welcome back to The Express. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. And the Shady Tree Pub has served up more than 12,000 orders of chicken wings since January. Absolutely crazy. Another kind of bird, a very chatty one. Parrots are extremely intelligent, but they can be a handful. And that's why this bird sanctuary is taking in troubled birds, hoping to give them a better life.
Quality Assured Collision Road Trip is brought to you by Quality Assured Collision Services and our network of 18 auto body shops across BC.
Today we're taking a road trip to beautiful Peachland, BC, to visit a unique sanctuary for abused and abandoned birds. The sanctuary is called Parrot Island, and it's run solely by volunteers.
This is Hannah. She's a hyacinth macaw. She's an Appendix 1 endangered species. A baby one of these would sell in a pet store for around about $25,000. Wow. And that's what's destroying them, because in the wild, there's only about 200 pairs left in the wild.
Ray Parks is part activist, part bird whisperer, and all compassionate when it comes to the fate of the 80 birds at his Parrot Island Bird Sanctuary. For the better part of his life, Parks has taken care of abandoned and sometimes abused birds, caring so much he hasn't taken a day off since opening the sanctuary in 1996.
Hi.
I'd like to think this one's showing off because I'm...
Oh yeah, he's showing off. My wife and I come in the morning for about 3 hours, feeding and cleaning. Then in the evening we come over, my wife changes all the water. She goes around and give her treats, I go around and give my cookies and treats. And the rock and roll music comes on and we clean it all out again. And then we go over to the house and we switch the monitor on so we can hear them in the night to make sure everything's okay.
So visiting the Parrot Island Sanctuary for some, like me, but I have a hole in my eardrum, includes earplugs because it's really loud.
And out of about 340 different species of parrots, over 100 are endangered because of the factory. And in this day and age, with all the technology we have, for the sake of $1, we can make a species become extinct. It's not right.
What's this one's name?
This one is Mika.
Mika. Hi, Mika.
The estimate, and this is not from me, this is from other research, is about over 2 million, but that's a very, very low estimate. Most of it is because when people buy a parrot, they want something that can talk and something that's pretty and a companion. But they don't realize when a parrot sexually matures, usually 5-6 years old, they usually pick one member of the family to be their mate, and they're usually not very sociable to other members of the family.
For folks who have surrendered birds to Ray, one of the best things about the sanctuary is the visiting rights.
It's been maybe 9 or 10 years.
And you still come to visit?
Yeah.
How sweet.
Yeah. They're so fascinating. These birds are, they're so fascinating. There's just something about them. I could, with Beak, even though he didn't like me, he was my husband's bird, my husband was his mate, and he tormented me. I learned to read Beak. I could see his body postures, and I could see the way he held his feathers, and I could read him. And I knew when he was getting ready to attack me.
Many of the birds in the sanctuary have lifespans upwards of 60+ years. Most of them will outlive Ray. Many will outlive his kids, which leads Parks to wonder what will happen to his flock.
My wife and I talk about it, and like I always say, you know, the Lord's got to send somebody else just as crazy as us to take care of him, because you got to realize you're not going to get a day off, you know, and it's pretty hard to have someone come in and do it. I know my son could do it, or my daughter even, and but they're raising a family. You're not making money here, so you can't, you know, do that and expect to raise a family. You can't do it.
Parks encourages folks to visit the sanctuary, especially before rushing out to buy their own bird. It's kind of like getting your teen to babysit the bratty neighbor, which is usually a good form of birth control. More information on Parrot Island is available online. From Peachland for Shaw, I'm Tammy Williams.
Quality Assured Collision Road Trip has been brought to you by Quality Assured Collision Services and our network of 18 auto body shops across BC.
Every week, Road Trip takes us to different parts of BC. Today, it's all about Squamish and their love of chicken wings. I'm going to jump on this tasty bandwagon while you check in with a local artist. Later on in the show, capturing a feeling, a place, a memory. If this chicken wing could tell a story, probably talk about all the different people that gather around it every Thursday night at the Shady Tree Pub. They've been doing it for 13 years. It's a historical pastime. Well, it's that time in the show again to check in with our local animal shelters. Let's see who's up for adoption at the Squamish SPCA and Wagon Whistler.
Hi, and thanks for visiting the Squamish SPCA. Here are some animals we have available for adoption. This is Calliope. She is approximately 3 years old. She is a spayed female. She is quite shy, doesn't appreciate being held, but she likes to be pet, and she actually loves to have her back scratched. She does get along with dogs and is great with other cats, and she's just a real sweet, quiet cat. So this is Indy. She is about 9 weeks old. She's a spayed female, up to date with her vaccines and deworming. She's going to probably mature, mid to large size, 50 to 60 pounds. Breed is anybody's guess. She's very, very mixed, but she's wonderful temperament and would make a great family dog.
Welcome to Wagon Whistler. This is Seamus. He's up for adoption. He came to us at the end of October on Halloween. He was unfortunately run over by a vehicle and had a fractured pelvis. So if you think you're the right kind of person to take on a dog who has lots of energy, but will still need some special care for the next little while, this little guy would love to have a warm and friendly home to go to. Come and look for Seamus. This is Sammy. He's up for adoption. He's 5 years old. He's probably one of the snuggliest cats we've had come through. He's an absolute love. He loves good pets, lots of snuggling. He never complains about what time you get home or how much you've eaten. He's the perfect man. If you're interested in getting a cat or a best friend, I think he'd be the man.
Love pets, love animals. The SPCA and WAG are always looking for volunteers to care for the Sea to Sky's cutest residents.
There are lots of ways to volunteer at the Squamish SPCA. You can help out with grooming, or you can do something as simple as stuffing envelopes in the office. Next, jewelry has been a part of human culture since time immemorial. A necklace could be a sign of wealth or a ring of promise. Reporter Dee Raffo unveils the stories behind the jewelry of Rosie Harris.
Rosie Harris has a short commute to work. Amongst the surfboards, car tires, laundry and recycling, she finds herself a creative space where she works on her jewelry designs.
A lot of my jewelry is inspired by the outdoors and the world surrounding us. A lot of water themes, earth, trees, mountains, you'll see it over and over again.
Rosie Harris always knew she wanted to work with her hands. Moving from beading to metalwork, she recently finished her diploma in jewelry art and design in Vancouver. She is now in her 6th year of creating unique designs, and she certainly has the tools to prove it.
Usually it starts with an idea or an occasion. There's either something that they want, or the occasion being there's an engagement. If it's a gift, we sometimes have to get a little bit sneakier about that. I can't give away all my secrets, because otherwise people might know when I'm trying to size up.
It's every girl's dream to have a box of jewels, and Rosie has a large selection. She tries to find the connection between wearer and object, matching them with the right materials and precious stones to make their own piece of history.
Try to use as many Canadian suppliers as possible, support the local economy. That being said, I've also done some recycled materials before. I had a woman whose wedding ring, she wanted to use gold that she already had around. I think it even had her father-in-law's gold tooth in it.
Rosie jokingly mentions that she uses the same tools as a dental technician, so if she ever fancied a career change, she'd be set. Making art that people will wear for the rest of their lives is a huge honour, and there's often a good story behind each piece.
One time I had a client, we were doing some wedding rings. They were supposed to be plain rings, and I guess as a surprise right before the wedding, he kind of pulled me aside and was like, okay, we're going to add all those diamonds to the ring. She doesn't think, she's going to get those till later as an anniversary gift. Anyway, she had called me wanting to try on the ring with her dress, and I had to pretend I didn't have time to see her because I had the stones being set in the ring, and she couldn't see it because it was supposed to be a surprise for the wedding day.
Rosie tries to capture a moment, a memory, and even a promise. She leaves her mark on each piece, both in design and signature. This is Dee Raffo in Rosie's Whistler Workshop for The Express.
Rosie Harris jewelry can be worn in many different ways. How you wear it can directly reflect how you feel. Me? I'm feeling pretty full, so the Express Spotlight is going to help us work off some of this yummy food.
Register for Relay for Life 2011 in Squamish. This Canadian Cancer Society fundraiser invites community members to walk for loved ones lost to cancer and celebrate those that have survived. The deadline is March 31st. 25% of restaurant sales on Thursday, March 24th will help people living with HIV/AIDS. Look up participants at diningoutforlife.com.